Greetings, people. This video today, people. This one is for all of my black women, them. All of my black medical persons right around the world. You see, we are going through a phase right now where only more secrets are come out. You see, the more secrets are exposed, the angrier people get when those secrets make them look bad. And right now, people not have to come out and say things directly. Them can send them subliminally. And we see babies, pregnant mothers are suffer in a national health service, wherever, whatever country. People, when they go in for any treatment in any hospital, any facility, the way how them treat the black people, them, it's like degrading. So one key thing I say with this video is that me ask my nurses, the midwives, for take on some apprentices so that one can save some black babies and some black mothers from dying during child's birth.
Y'all treat all your patients like this or just the black ones? Her due date is the 10th. She had 3 pregnancies, 2 babies at home. Y'all listen next time. When you found out you was delivering at this hospital, your ass should have changed doctors. Everybody say how they treat people here. Someone is coming to take the. Hello, TikTok family. This is a follow-up on the video that I posted earlier. So I was at work. I had no idea of the activity that was going on. My daughter's texting me, calling me. I didn't know what was going on. So finally I get home, they tell me about the video, and a lot of you was asking about a follow-up and to explain the situation. So this is the situation. My daughter went to active labor at home. We took her to the hospital. She called ahead of time, so we know they are expecting us. However, we get there to the emergency room. We watching nurses, putting gloves on, running to the door. They get outside of the door, and I drive a black SUV, and they look at my vehicle, and one of the nurses come up to the window, and she goes, I'm sorry, this is for ambulance only. I said, well, my daughter is in active labor. And she was like, okay. She said, but you're going to have to go to the front. I'm like, I have to drive to the front. And they said, yeah, you have to drive to the front. Okay, another redhead. And so I'm like, so she's in the, you hear, and it was like, yeah, she started bagging up, hit the button, went back inside the building. So I go around to the front. I get out of the car. Again, this girl is in more pain now than she was when we first left the house. And she starts saying, I feel pressure. I feel pressure. I said, take deep breaths. I ran in. I said, hey, my daughter's in the car. I went to emergency. They told me I had to come to the front. So the lady was like, what's your daughter's name? Told her Kiara Jones. She gets out some paperwork, started typing in the name. I was like, ma'am, do you have a wheelchair or anything? She's in a car. I need to get her in. Oh, if you check on the other side of those doors where the vending machine's at, there should be a wheelchair out there. There's no wheelchair out there. So she gets up, she walks in the back, and she comes to the door with a wheelchair. She said, here you go, ma'am. I said, excuse me, you're not going to come with me? And she was like, no. Oh, okay. So, a police officer was in the lobby. He gets up. He grabbed a wheelchair. He goes out the door with me. He said, come on, I got you. Went out there. She is on hands and knees in the back of the vehicle. And I'm like, oh shit, what is going on? And then she goes, it's in my ass. And I was like, what? And the guy was like, and she was like, he said, okay, and she was like, give me a minute. She could not move. So when that contraction eased, we put her in a wheelchair. He said, you can go park your car because they, again, had, people out there. So I went park my car. It wasn't even 30 seconds. I run back in the building. She's just there with a stack of papers in her hand, screaming that this baby is coming. This baby is coming. I look at the registers behind the window and they looking at me and they was like, well, we can't do anything until she signed the papers. Are you fucking kidding me? So I grabbed the papers and of course it's all the ER bullshit that they have. And I was like, you want her to sign this and she's in active labor. And it was like, okay, I was like, ma'am, she was supposed to be induced earlier today at 8 o'clock. And they called and told her that they will call her because they didn't have beds. And they will let her know. And no one ever called back. They called back every hour on an hour. And it was like, no, we'll call you back. And then finally, her water break, she called them. They tell her to come in. So why is she signing these papers? We need her in labor and delivery. And it was like, ma'am, I'm sorry. So the charge nurse comes out. And she saw the paper signed. What fucking, are you serious right now? And she closes the door. And then the lady behind the window at this point, my daughter, scribbled her name on all the papers. We gave it to her. She says, thank you. She walked it around to the charge nurse. She opened up the door. My daughter is literally like having a contraction. And she's just standing there in the door. So we push her into the door. I said, can we get her into labor and delivery? She said, no, we have to fill out all this paperwork. I have to do the paperwork and get her a van before we can send her upstairs. So that was the video that you guys saw that I initially posted. So the next video that has no picture on it was when I was pushing her in and we was at the window because they asked me to move her from the window so they can take care of other guests or, patients that was coming in and out. Do not go to this hospital.
Whitney.
This hospital is ghetto as hell.
Whitney.
They do not care about Black women or their babies. This is crazy. I read about stuff like this all the time, but to see this firsthand, this lady did not care none of this.
What's the hospital name?
to labor and delivery where we saw an ounce of care or sympathy for her. Before then, they can care less. She did not care if she gave birth in that wheelchair. That was not her problem or her concern.
I don't know, but this is definitely a situation one should sue for. One should be able to sue for this because the hospital were basically risking her life with what they did, the way they acted. They literally put her and her baby in grave danger. If this were me, I'm definitely suing because, like, what's the actual hell? What's the actual hell? You guys are supposed to be an institution that care about people and their well-being, that help people. But look at the way they acted. Absolutely disgusting. This is appalling. This is what people mean when they say that the medical institution or the medical field is full of demonic activities. This right here is what they mean, because how else are you supposed to describe this behavior? Wickedness to levels that should not be humanly possible. But here we are. Thankfully, mom and baby are okay as they can be, given all that they've been through, because the stress did affect the baby a little bit, and grandmom shared more on that in this video.
Hey guys, I'm here with Mom and Baby Cash. They're doing well. He has a doctor's appointment tomorrow at the pediatric center. It's a lot of concerns. They're taking tests on him. He still have to go through several other tests on the line because he was born with his eyes open, and due to the stress and trauma that occurred in the triage area, the baby had a bowel movement in mom, and the fluids was green. And like I said, he born with his eyes open. So they are, taking all that in consideration as well. But he's eating well, sleeping well. They think he'll just sit there. You sat on which? He's eating well, sleeping well, looking good. Thank you again for your support and your concerns, and we will most definitely keep you updated.
Hospitals in Dallas are being accused of keeping kidneys, like kidney transplants, from poorer patients and instead giving those same kidneys to wealthy patients. A whistleblower lawsuit alleges that kidneys were diverted from poor patients at Parkland Health and instead given to wealthier patients at UT Southwestern. The whistleblower was quite literally their transplant director, their transplant coordinator, the person overseeing all of the organ transplants at the facility. And he documented 36 different cases in the span of 1 year where kidneys were deemed not up to quality for transplant into poorer patients at Parkland Health. But then those exact same kidneys that didn't meet the quality standards were then transplanted into patients in a wealthier hospital. A little bit of background, almost every single kidney transplant, including like any organ transplant in the United States, is funded by Medicaid. So what this lawsuit is alleging is that organ procurement groups and the hospitals themselves were prioritizing wealthier patients over patients whose treatments would be reimbursed by Medicaid. They are quite literally choosing who lives and who dies based on how much money you have. I have never, in all of my years in healthcare, heard a more damning condemnation of where our system currently lies. Because you know damn well this isn't just about class. This is also a deeply, deeply racial issue. Because Parkland Health, as you guessed it, serves primarily Black and Latino communities. And the wealthier hospitals that these organs were being diverted to serve primarily white communities. This is so dark. This is so dark. And if there are any updates on this case, I will bring them to you. But everyone actually involved in this, everyone that had their hands in this at all. And this is not legal advice, but if you were a patient at Parkland Health in Dallas and you needed an organ transplant, and you were denied for any reason, you should call a lawyer and you should look into the medical history of that case, because this is highly suspicious.
So I'm a travel nurse, and I've been doing a lot of traveling, nursing for a couple of years now. And I took a new contract. I was finishing out my last one, and I took a new one because I make 6 figures easy because I've got all the experience that I can go into any place and work. And the contract that I took is up north. So I just got finished settling everything and transferring and stuff and everything. It's taken taken a lot of time. This new place, I don't name places and put them on blast or anything because I know the people and people. I don't want to get fired or get DNR'd or whatever. God told me to do this. I always talk to God first. I run everything through God, ask him, pray, and, what he wants me to do, what decision where he wants me to go. And he's all sending me to some of the most ridiculous places. And this place, I'm just gonna come straight out and tell you, this place is filled with demonic activity. I can't even tell you. I've been learning, I've been in nursing in medical field since the early 90s, and I always knew that there was a lot of spiritual stuff going on, good and bad. But this place, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a portal to hell over here.
These business majors that are working in these hospitals are only there thinking about profits. Remember, each black person, I don't know if you know, but one time them said each black person value $65 million. And if them can insure you and collect for you, whether you live or die, something bad happen to you in a them facility, and them can collect for whatever services them provide or insure for your life, them will take it. For them can benefit off of you, cause for your organs can suffice other people. Cause see, people take other people kidney. And because the person we all get it, originally if you get it, black, them say it not up to standard and they left that hospital and then go to a white person, the privileged hospital and go using a patient or the patient there. So whistleblowers are come out of work in them places, they come out and said something like 30 odd. Happening now 1 year. Where the people them organ go to the wrong people, go to the people where the original if it go to, it not go to them. They leave that hospital and go other hospital. The one with the baby, this one I wanna go here in this, with them a feature in this one, named Parkland Health in Dallas, Texas. The way them treat the people, them man, they grading bad. So that's why I say people teach every young girl, try learn midwifery, because one day you might get pregnant and need to save on our own life or save on a family member's life, save a friend in community life. Watch this now. Look for Melissa, Jamaica. many communities cut off. Who pregnant up in them community, they might can't get to a hospital if you don't know midwifery can help save a life. So people, it's our time for selfish with our knowledge. Not because you know go to university and pay for it. Look, some places are the whole is a community pay for it. That person, one person go learn something and bring it back the knowledge. What those people know. Enough of those things. So them try to find a way for you to turn you into a selfish person. So them find a way to give you the job, encourage you to stay, and don't go back and deliver no services to your people them. So no matter them both take away the community money and do return the goods. Because basically you're going to get the education and it's basically going to receive the goods. So the people can lose their money and they don't get the goods in return. So people, in our community start teach each other. And look a girl them midwifery. Because those are important skills for save them own life. Not because you didn't spend at university. Most of the time the university you're going to feel your money spent. They might have set you up so you owe student loan. But some of the time a community spend to acquire it. And them charge you 2 times feet and all them sitting there. So people, I want to leave a comment upon it in the comment section.